Hello, hello, everyone. What a wonderful Wednesday it is. Thank you guys so very much for tuning into the Ella Johnson Show. Listen, I have been having so much fun with these motivational messages. And tonight, we're going to have even more fun. But I want to thank all of you so much that tuned in to the Ella Johnson Show tonight because you could be doing anything else. And I appreciate your support. Please know that I do appreciate it. Every time you share the broadcast or tell someone about the Ella Johnson Show, it is appreciated. Okay. If you're watching from YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Bless TV, the Mahogany Bronze, Mahogany Motivations by Ella Johnson, the Ella Johnson page, wherever you're watching from, because I stream from different places at the same time. So wherever you are tuning in tonight, I do appreciate you. But if you're over on YouTube, do me a favor and just subscribe, right? It's not going to hurt anything. But guys, tonight we have a very interesting broadcast. You know how I like to share stories, use different things to create an analogy, and all make it motivational, right? Well, tonight we're going to do just that. We're going to talk about a jigsaw puzzle, and I'm going to use that to show you and motivate you to know and understand and accept that if it doesn't fit, don't force it. That's the title of tonight's broadcast. But it's going to be interesting tonight, guys. So I want you to just buckle up. Don't go anywhere. I know there's other things you could be doing, but you can go get some water, make a phone call. Tell people that the Ella Johnson Show is on, but do me a favor. Please do not go anywhere because we'll be right back after this quick little break. We'll be right back. It's time for the Ella Johnson Show. I'm so excited that you've taken time out to tune in to the Ella Johnson Show. I hope you enjoy the broadcast. So sit back, relax, and I'll see you at the end of the show. You know, one day someone asked me, Ella, why do you do talk shows? Like, why is this so important to you? I said, because I want people to know that God does use us. Because sometimes things don't happen to you. They happen through you. And now it's time for the Ella Johnson Show, where we set the table for real talk conversations. So stay tuned. It's all coming up next. The Ella Johnson Show. All right, guys, we are back. We are back. Thank you again, like I said, for tuning in to the Ella Johnson Show. Every night I'm coming to you guys. Some nights I may not, though. So I don't want you guys to be disappointed if just so happen you don't see me tomorrow. But tonight, I wanted to bring you a motivational message that you'll talk about tomorrow around the water cooler with your friends, right? You're going to be like, I never thought about it like that. But I want you guys to think about it. Tonight, if you're just tuning in, we're going to motivate you with a jigsaw puzzle. The title of my message tonight is, if it doesn't fit, don't force it. You guys have heard that saying before. Sounds like a nice cliche, but I really want you to understand why. Okay? So how many of you out there who have ever seen a jigsaw puzzle? You've ever worked on one, right? Majority of people. But I bet you never thought about it like this, right? Now, what is the purpose of a jigsaw puzzle? Jigsaw puzzle is you get a box, and on the top of that box is a picture. Now, this is where it's a place to shout, because you already know how it's going to turn out. Okay. You see what it's meant to look like. Uh-oh, you guys, you see where I'm going with that? Okay. You see. So no matter what goes on or how you struggle with getting these pieces together, what's the one thing we always do? We always go back to the picture on the box to remind us what it's supposed to look like, right? Okay. So you get this box, got all these little pieces in it. Your job is to put it together and make it a reality. In the spiritual, heaven took a picture of your life and gave you some pieces, little bits of pieces in there, and an instruction manual, if you will. And the next thing is to make it a reality. All right. Now I want you guys to stay with me because this is going to be sweet and short tonight, but it's real because we try to change what God has already put in place, right? He didn't need us when he was creating our picture. He already did it. It was made in heaven already before you even born. Okay. So I want you guys to think about that box. Okay. Everybody got their jigsaw puzzle box, right? Okay. You got your puzzle. I want you to open up that box. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Follow along with me. Open up the box. What do you see when you look in there? A mess. You're like, what? You see a mess. Nothing is put together. You got all these little pieces and they all look the same, right? One thing you have to know about that box is that no matter what it looks like when you open it, they are all supposed to be there. Uh-oh. Now let's flip over here to the spiritual world. Your box. I want all of you to look at your life as being in a box tonight, a jigsaw puzzle. Okay? When you started, you didn't know anything. You didn't know anything about God. You didn't know anything about life. We were little babies. We were like sucking on milk. You know, we didn't know much. But we were all these little bitty pieces. Now, in the spiritual world, what I want to encourage you is I know it looks like a mess right now, but you got a picture. That's what I want you to say every time in life something happens. I got a picture. And no matter where I am right now, I know that everything God has given me fits because I got a picture. All things work together for good. Those little pieces represent the good, the bad, the fun, the disappointing, the abusive. All of it's in that box. You might not like some of the pieces, but God knew when he created your picture in heaven that they would all work together to give you that picture, right? So you're looking at these pieces and you're like, ooh, Lord, where do I start? Everybody has their own strategy for how they do a jigsaw puzzle, right? I know when we would all work together to put one, some people would get this part. Some people would, okay, you guys get all the end pieces. We're going to get all the outside first. Then we work our way in. Whatever your strategy is, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you know that these pieces will give us the picture on the box. No matter what you're going through in life, no matter what strategy you use, no matter where you start, no matter how raggedy you are at putting those pieces together, they will fit. Okay? Now, y'all know how we're fixing a jigsaw puzzle, right? And we get these pieces and you're just like, oh my gosh, all these pieces look the same. You know, you got this one, and some people strategize and say, okay, well, this little piece is round, so this is the hole, so they must go together. You try it. Here's what happens. Sometimes we get frustrated, even in life, because we try to put pieces together and they don't fit. Here's the thing. They may not fit together, but that piece does fit a piece in that box. I want you guys to get that part. I really want you to get that part, because we think that just because this didn't work out, that God has just messed up our picture. No, no, no. The piece you need is over here. Don't worry, you're going to get to it, because God knew what he was doing when he put those pieces together. So he knows that the one that fits that piece is in the box. In your life, you get frustrated because you try things and they don't work. You give and it seems like you're never getting it back. You have to understand that God knows what he's doing. You just haven't met the piece that goes where you are right now. You're at a piece in the puzzle that you're putting together, and the piece that you need to complete this side, it's there. You just got to keep looking. It's in the box. You got to trust God to know that all these pieces in here, no matter what, they do fit. Now, let me tell you what we try to do sometimes. The lights might as well say amen. Okay? The lights might as well say amen. What we try to do is sometimes we're like, God, I'm lonely, and I want somebody too. I want this beautiful photo, but I just don't think that piece for me is in here. It's got to be out there somewhere. So when do we do that? When we go searching for other people's husbands? Tight, but it's right. We go trying to get pieces out of other people's box. That one wasn't for you. And you trying to bring it in here because you want that picture. You can't trust God that the piece you need is in your own box. So you want to go over here and try to put it and force it, try to make it work. We look good together. Ooh. We have the same ideals. Ooh. But that's not the piece that God has in your box. Come on now, Olo. You know you didn't get that piece out of this box. You can't. God couldn't have given you a piece that belonged in somebody else's box. For example, God could not have sent you a married man. Ooh, listen. You know why I'm talking like this? Because I can relate to all of it. And I know what I'm talking about. I don't use other people's business. I use my own. All right? Just remember that. Let me get back to my point. You have your own box, your own pieces. That piece over there in that box is not meant for you. And that's why it's not fitting. And that's why you'll never get the picture on the box if you try to do it your way. You will not get the picture that heaven created for you if you try to put the pieces of the puzzle together using your own way instead of the one he already gave you. So that is a shouting moment right there, because you try to force it. If it doesn't fit, don't force it. Don't force yourself on people either. I just want to say that right here too. You know how we in relationships, we love this man, we love this woman, and just unfortunately, they don't love you the way God intended for them to love you. They can't, because they're not the piece that he picked. That's not the piece. I don't care how good it makes you feel. I don't care how good you look together. At the end of the day, if you got this piece and you try to put this piece in it, it's going to be off somewhere. And we try to shove it in, like, see, no, that doesn't fit. Because I'm going to tell you, after a while, after that puzzle gets worn around a little bit, it's going to come apart because it wasn't meant to be there. That's real talk. So you have your own piece, your own puzzle. Now, I want you guys to think about something before I get out of here, okay? Because like I said, this was going to be short and sweet. I want to make sure I stay on my schedule tonight, because I don't want to take up much of your time, but I want you to see how even something like a jigsaw puzzle is speaking motivation to us, right? It's speaking motivation to us in a way to let you know that even the pieces in the puzzle, as messed up as it looks, they go together. I have a quote for you guys. And this is one that I have two quotes. One is mine and one is someone else's, and I don't know whose it is. I just saw it on Pinterest. Okay. But the quote that I saw from Pinterest that I thought, oh, wow, this could be very fitting for this message tonight. Anything that is meant to be can't be forced. I got to say that again. And I hope you guys get it. Anything that is meant to be can't be forced. So when you take that puzzle, and I want y'all to go get a jigsaw puzzle tonight, and I want you to think about this message as you share it with people, your congregations, your church, your students, anybody. Use a jigsaw puzzle to teach people how to trust the picture that God gave them. God gave you a vision. Don't try to add or take away. We like to add stuff to it, thinking that's it. Take away the pieces we don't like. Listen, religion and your spiritual walk with God is not like Chex Mix. Y'all know how you eat Chex Mix? I'm one of those kind of picky people. Like I'll eat these little cracker mixtures, and I'm like, okay, I like this piece. I don't like those. And you eat all the ones you like, and you leave the ones in the bowl you don't like. You can't walk with God like that, because all of them are meant for you. You might not like it, but it works, because you can't just eat some of it and just say, well, I'm not going to. Listen, people are so afraid of positive and negative. All right. I'm going to give you something that you do every day. How many of you guys have a car? Yes. Okay. Probably everybody watching this podcast drives a car. In your car, if you lift up that hood, what is it that charges that battery? For your car to go, you need the negative and the positive together. See what I'm saying? I know that might be corny, but y'all get my point, right? So I just want you to really think about this and understand that just because your pieces aren't coming together right now doesn't mean that God has forgotten about his picture. He doesn't have another picture stuck somewhere. Say, oh, wait a minute. I forgot. This is really no. He has your picture. He knows what he's doing. He knows why he put every single one of those pieces in there. Some of those pieces are big. Some of those pieces are small. Some of those pieces are hard to find, because you know how you have that one piece and it's like, wow, this is a weird shape, but it's in there. So I want to leave you guys with this. God is the author and the creator of your jigsaw puzzle. That's real. He knows every single piece. He knows every single hardship you're going to go through. He knows all the victories. He knows the people that should be there, the people who shouldn't be there. He knows he can even tell when you're trying to add stuff that's not there. He knows what he put in the box. So stop getting frustrated when you're trying to add and take away from your puzzle and it doesn't look like the one on the picture on the box. Don't get frustrated. Okay? I'm warning you. You can't take from someone else's box and put it in yours and think you're going to get that beautiful picture that God painted. No, that piece doesn't belong to you. Right? And I want you to think about this one last thing before I get out of here. You have a vehicle, right? Those of you that have a vehicle. I'm just going to pretend I have a Rolls Royce. I just speak what you seek. So let's say I have a Rolls Royce. Am I going to take it to a Kia dealership if it breaks down? Well, that would be crazy. Duh. Oh, I'm glad you realized that. Why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't I take it to Kia to fix? Because Kia is not the author and the creator of my car. They can pretend to fix it just to get my money. But who knows how to fix a Rolls Royce better than anyone? The one who created it, the one who built it. Because you can't have a Rolls Royce, have a Kia thinking it's going to move like a Rolls Royce. It's not going to happen, because the creator of the Rolls Royce knows what it is designed to do, how fast it's going to go. If something breaks down, he knows exactly. He looks at the blueprint and knows exactly how to fix that car. But Kia doesn't. So why is it then in our spiritual walk, when we're going through stuff and we stop working and things break down, why is it that we go to all these other places other than going to the author and the creator? So I want to encourage you tonight that in your life, we have to stop trying to fix this stuff on our own. Faith is believing in something that you can't see. We love to talk about, oh, girl, I trust God. Really? You know how you know if you trust God or not? When it's tested. Yeah. Because I could say it all day when I'm not under any resistance. It's when I'm tested. That's when you can say you have faith. When you can believe in something that you can't see, when everybody else says you're crazy. Okay? Because honestly, real talk, if you can see it, you don't need faith. Duh. Right? So I want you guys to think about this as you go about your day tomorrow and the next day and the next week and throughout 2025. I want you to get a mental picture of a jigsaw puzzle. And on the cover, on the top of that box is the picture, is the vision that God showed you that's going to happen for your life. He's already designed it. No devil in hell can take it away. Okay? And he created one for every single one of us. Every single one of us have our own jigsaw puzzle. We are our own jigsaw puzzle. It was created in heaven before we were even born. When you open up that box, yes, it's a mess. Don't be discouraged just because you're not all together yet. You got a picture. Don't get discouraged just because it seems like it's not working. You got a picture. But what you can't do is you can't try to do it on your own without God and try to make it work yourself, because it's not going to work. It's not going to fit. And if it doesn't fit, don't force it. Okay, guys, I'm going to check some messages that looks like I have here. I hope you guys are getting that. Terry says, yes. Thank you, my friend. I love you, Terry. Thank you so much. I'm so glad. That's so true. Yes, I'm so glad that you were, everybody, I hope you were getting this message. I really, really hope so, because, you know, I try to use things that are not the norm. And I like to use it to motivate you, because a jigsaw puzzle is something that's very, very, something that we use a lot. And I want y'all to think about it. You will never get a jigsaw puzzle and be the same again after you hear this message. So I want you guys to share the broadcast for me. Tell someone else that you saw this and go like, you know, I never thought about it like that. I never thought about it like that. So I just want to encourage you. That's what I do here every night. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Terry says, message definitely received. Oh, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. I really, really do appreciate that, because, you know, we are all in this together, guys, the end of the day. And I know so many people are getting discouraged. There's so many videos out there about what's going on. I don't need to get on here and talk about that. You see it. But what I want to tell you, I want to encourage you guys to watch my show from the other night about Nat Turner and how he is speaking from the grave, because we have to be real about this and intentional about what it is. But we can't leave God out of it. I don't care how much we're angry. I don't care how much we cry or whatever. But remember, and if you can remember it this way, that in your jigsaw puzzle, all the pieces, all things work together for good. All things, good and bad. So don't be sad. All right? All right, guys. So I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in to the Ella Johnson Show. As always, I'm not sure exactly when I will be back here with another motivational message, but I want to thank you. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time, guys. Have a great evening. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Ella Johnson Show. We'll see you next time.
We are supporters of the Ella Johnson Show. We live in South Korea. We have been watching Ella Johnson Show for like a year now. And we love her show. Her show is very inspirational, motivational, and educational.
If you would like to be a guest on the Ella Johnson Show, send an email to theellajohnsonshow@gmail.com or send a text message to 407-334-6997.